Have you guys ever thought about how fucked up the English language is?
You know,
I know, like you,
yeah.
Chris, and Marlon, both English is your second language. Right? You learn English second, right?
Right, but I learned English when I was young.
Yeah.
Like I was like 3 when I learned English, so I don't even remember.
You don't
it was
remember
a
like
struggle.
learning English?
Yeah, I remember my parents when they took me to like kindergarten, because I didn't go to preschool or anything or pre-K. Like I just showed up when I was 5 at fucking kinder, and the teacher was like, "Your son doesn't need ESL. He knows English." And my parents like, "What?" Like they didn't even know that I knew English already.
Yeah.
Like I just picked it up
Sesame
from my
Street.
TV and radio and shit. But I've heard that like English is actually one of the hardest languages to learn for like adults because it's so fucked up.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
to your point.
I mean, there are a lot of. I have a list here. Let me get it.
Get the
into this,
list,
bro.
man. Because
There's a list here, and so I remember.
learning English, Marlon?
I remember very little about not knowing English. I remember definitely that my parents got a conversation from my school teachers that, because my dad had a strict rule like no English in the house because he didn't want me to forget Spanish. So he just never wanted us to speak English in the house, and so he had us.
Go on.
Wait, can you hear that too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for sure keep going.
Hold
I
on.
feel like we're Demi Moore and Patrick Swayze's behind us.
Yeah.
making it.
Is that Ghost?
I wonder if it's making it to the recording, but oh well.
Anyways,
Sorry.
we're catching some radio waves or
What?
something
What
over
is
here.
that? I
So-
don't have headphones. I can't hear that.
No, it's all good. No worries.
So anyway, he had a strict policy on like no speaking Spanish, and the teachers had a conversation.
No one speaks Spanish.
Yeah. So no speaking English in the house, and so
No speaking
the teachers were
Spanish.
like, you have to talk to him in English so you can get it, and my dad was like no, and I ended up
Puro machismo, way.
and my dad ended up or I ended up learning English just at school and
Yeah.
What was it like?
TV.
But can you notice the differences? Like, so I remember one time I had a spelling bee, probably first, second grade or something, and my mom was like, I remember doctor was one of the words, and what she said, because my mom's fucking first language is Spanish as well, and she was like, it's doctor is spelled just like it is in Spanish, doctor, and just they think of it that way, and I was like, that makes sense. Like if you spell it out, I mean, everything that's spelled in Spanish.
Yeah.
Is spelt the way it's pronounced. Everything in English is fucked up.
So-
and let me roll through these real quick.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, phonetically, it's all
Phonetically.
fucked up. So, two is pronounced two, but it's like you say it like it was pronounced toe.
Yeah.
Because then think about so. Why is so not pronounced sue?
Yeah.
Think about that.
Weird.
Yeah.
Says is pronounced says, not says.
Face.
Yeah.
Like raise or bays.
Yeah.
Said is pronounced said, but raid is spelled the same way.
With an R.
That's
With an
Sade.
R?
Yeah.
It's not
Sade.
sade.
Yeah.
Two is spelled like two. Like, why the fuck is it spelled like two?
Why is there a W in there?
And then tear, pair, and fear are all spelled the same way.
It's
With a
confusing.
different fucking starting
It's
fucking
confusing as
letter.
hell, dude. Like, so I learned Spanish at home. I mean, I was born here and I was raised here. I lived for 2 years, 1 year and change in Mexico, and so I went to school over there and I learned how to read and write in Spanish. And it was way easier, man. Way easier to actually. I knew how to speak it, but I didn't know how to spell or read it.
Yeah.
And so it was way easier because the way you say something is the way you spell it, with the
Yeah.
exception of sometimes the X's are pronounced like S's, and it's just the times to know
The off chance.
to know when it's
Yeah.
like that. But yeah, I mean, and
Yeah.
when I came back to the States, I skipped that grade where you learn I before E except after C, all those little fucking rules.
Yeah.
I skipped that, so I was lost when I came into third grade, and I in my head I would spell things the way they were pronounced in Spanish. So people was people is people. Okay, people.
on his face.
Hey,
And then
so
I would get words wrong though, because sometimes they have the root. It sounds the same, so you can infer the meaning.
Right.
But in Spanish, to show off is presumir, and so in English, hey, stop presuming.
Yeah.
It's completely wrong.
Hey, so when you guys like have thoughts in your head, are your thoughts in English or are they in Spanish?
It depends. It depends.
Yeah.
No,
It depends
for
if
sure.
I'm listening to something in Spanish or
But even for me, like, so I learned Spanish probably when I was like 4 years old, and then going onward. You have to get in a mode, bro. Like if you're speaking Spanish, you think in Spanish.
Yeah.
And if you're speaking
for
English,
sure.
if you're speaking English, you think it's in English.
Okay, but
and even now,
say
Right.
say you're at home and you're thinking like, okay, you know what? Today I need to go to the grocery store and then I need to go.
I don't think there's
to,
a language
But
there.
see, the
Like,
thing is,
That's
Yeah.
not that's not a
but-
language. That's
but
just more you
like,
thinking you got to go to the grocery
You
store.
don't think about thinking in English. You just think.
Yeah.
So
But
that's the way it
what
is
I'm
in
saying,
Spanish.
like,
In
But
Spanish,
it's
if
not
you're-
like
people
it's
who
not
don't
like
speak
it's not like your thoughts
English-
have a dialogue.
Yeah, they don't have a dialogue. It's just an inner dialogue.
I
You
must
just
say when I get
understand.
mad at myself, like I'm getting mad at myself. I'm getting mad at myself in Spanish. Yeah, like I'm like now that I'm like dieting and stuff and trying to watch what I eat. If I have a little slip up, I'm like,
Yeah.
pinche Marlon, no puedes dejar de tragar, pinche
yeah,
fucking gordo.
If
Sometimes I mix it up, bro.
do you ever try to make yourself laugh? Like just try to crack yourself up? Every
Tell
time-
yourself a joke you didn't know.
not that, but like if you like making an observation, like if you make an observation and like you see something in the world and in your life that you think is funny and you make an observation about it, I always do it like in Spanish, either saying it in Spanish or with a Spanish accent. It just cracks me up, dude. Just making observations about life in Spanish is way funnier than in English to me. And so that's the one thing that I know I do for a fact in Spanish, making funny observations. I do it in Spanish first, and then I'll like translate it in English.
Yeah.
I learned English and Spanish at the same time. So, like, my grandparents spoke to me in nothing but Spanish, and it helped me out a lot. But once I got a little bit older, I think I was telling you guys before that, like, I would reply to them in English.
Yeah.
But, like, if I noticed that, like, once I get, like, a little bellow, like, I get a little drunk, I start speaking in my head in Spanish, like, pendejo.
Yeah, that's-
Or traffic, dude. Traffic brings out the fucking raza in me, dude.
Right.
Bad.
I actually struggle with keeping my accent in check because it takes a certain level of concentration. I think maybe I mentioned this to you guys before. It takes a certain level of concentration for me to not speak with an accent.
Yeah.
But when I start to have a little bit
To not call
To-
shares.
a little, when I start
sharp.
when I have a little too much to drink or I'm speaking really fast,
Yeah.
the accent will come in. Like
Yeah.
I'll say these instead of this.
Yeah.
I'll say these.
I don't think I've ever heard you speak with an
idiot.
accent.
Yeah.
Either.
No, that's the thing. People
More
would
for
always,
comedic effect.
People would always, for comedic.
What
effect.
he
It's always
said.
in Spanish.
What he
So
said.
with me, people would freak out whenever they would they'd find out that I spoke Spanish because they're like, well, you don't really have an accent when you talk. Like you just talk English and it just sounds like normal. You look at it as
Natural.
like natural, right? And it's just like I think it's because I grew up just. Wanting to fit in, right? Because like I was like I knew that I was like the foreigner kid that was like
You were born in Mexico,
I
right?
was born in Mexico, and then I think I always just
Yeah.
wanted to be
Ew.
like I
And you-
didn't want to. Don't touch me. Don't look at me.
Then you came over here and stole
Like,
somebody's
dude,
job.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No, for real. Like my parents
did.
were always like, I think because like being like a
Political
a
already.
foreigner, I know. Being an immigrant, like your parents, like
Yeah.
being an immigrant, your parents are just like, dude, just stay, like just walk the fucking straight. and
Yeah,
narrow.
They want you like
Don't
to
stick out.
assimilate.
Just fucking assimilate. Exactly, that's the word. And I think I did, and I don't know if I was just ashamed of it or something. Like I just kind of like fought off the accent.
It's just that you want to
Yeah.
fit in,
And
bro.
then,
I understand it.
But I'm thinking that's what it was. And then now I just don't really have an accent. Like people kind of freak out. Like I start speaking Spanish and they're like, whoa, like where did that come from? Like, how, do you know Spanish? I was like, I was fucking born in Mexico. But it's weird because you weren't born in Mexico, but you were raised in an environment where like everybody spoke Spanish. Right?
Yeah,
in
everybody spoke
McAllen
Spanish.
or in the
Brownsville.
In Brownsville.
San Benito.
In Brownsville. And so
SB.
and it was cool. Like everybody had an accent down there. It was accepted. It didn't mean that you were a foreigner. You could have been born in fucking Brownsville to Mexican parents. or
So
Hispanic parents,
have you
you're
been
fine.
practicing keeping your English accent in check since then, like since childhood, or?
So I guess I got it from my dad because my dad also, I could tell my dad also has that bit of him where he struggles a little bit with it, but it's always, I guess maybe because I have a musical ear,
Yeah.
like I can mimic the noises that other people
Yeah.
make.
Dude, that's
you know?
an
It's like playing by ear.
That's an interesting. I think when I sing in English, I sound like shit, but I think I'm actually pretty decent in Spanish, bro.
Yeah, there you go.
I think like in Spanish, I'm like, nah, la verga.
We'll be the
El
judge.
Buki.
We'll be the judge.
I viene el Buki.
Judges.
Hey, bro.
Hey, los Buki.
El Buki's my middle name, bro.
So
Yeah,
Anyway,
cool.
man.
So English is tough.
Yeah.
Spanish is easier.
Yeah,
Learn
English is
Spanish,
way
kids.
English is way
Dude,
tougher.
you know what? Hold on,
Learn
man. Because
Spanish.
like
There's so many exceptions.
I took Spanish classes in high school, and dude, that shit was fucking hard for me.
Well, yeah, because you were older.
Yeah, and like I already, but I could
No,
understand.
but speaking it and then trying to like go grammatically through it is
That's
a lot different.
and like,
Yeah.
dude,
Yeah,
I
it's
can't
dumb.
read. I can kind of sort of read, like
I
half-ass
can't
read
period.
in Spanish, but also
Period.
very well in Spanish, and I definitely can't write in Spanish, bro, at all. But I can understand and like carry
It's
on a
exactly the
conversation.
same way you pronounce it. Though. My mom said that, and it's always been. Anyways, this is episode Numero Doce.
Hey,
Alright.
numero
12.
That's 12.
Just the way you say it, this is the way you spell it, everybody. It's episode number 12 of the Well-Mannered Cartel. I'm Tom.
I'm Mike.
Yo soy Marlon.
Me llamo Christopher.
I'm Ray.
El caballo está saltando. And this is episode number 12. We have a few things we want to run down. Ray's with us again. It's great to have Ray in here again with us. This is back to back.
Sure.
Back to back. We got some
Reppin'.
cartel fucking reppers,
Reppin'.
motherfuckers over. I don't know what. Yeah, we got these guys repping some cartel gear
merch,
over here.
some
Some merch. Hit us up on the IG if you want some.
I'm also repping some merch. This is the official
Fuck
Watch
that.
out.
team
Get
of the
fuck
Well-Mannered
outta here.
Los Dallas Cowboys, los Dallas Nalgas.
Anyhow, Mike, what do we got on the agenda today, dude?
Yo, so Marlon, you had some interesting thoughts on the adult industry.
Yeah, so for a while now, I'm fascinated by the lives of people that make the plunge, the thrust, let's call it,
Los pornos.
into the adult industry. Because I feel that it takes a lot of balls. No pun intended.
Literally.
It takes a lot of balls
Takes a lot of
to put yourself out there because it's so
permanent.
socially
It's
so
permanent.
and that shit follows you
Yeah.
everywhere, especially now in the digital
Well,
age.
now in our time of life, it is permanent, dude.
It's never been easier to make money selling sex than it is today, and it's also so easy to totally fuck up your life with that. Although it's made some leaps as far as being socially acceptable, the various categories, but I feel that it takes a lot of balls and it takes so much dedication because you got to think about it throughout the way of trying to make it in that
taking a lot of
industry.
dicks.
You're taking a lot of
It's a pain in the ass.
you're taking you're taking a lot of flack from your family, from people that know you, society. You're not going to be able to get a job, but the more you hustle at it, eventually, the more dedicated you are to it, you're gonna figure out a way to make it work for you. But I just think it's fascinating. I would love to meet somebody that's like done it for years and to just like have a conversation and be like, hey, well, what happened?
So I understand like what you're coming from because like I think I told you I watched some of those documentaries on Netflix. I did a lot of Pornhub research on this. But
In my day.
but like so
Bro,
like
homemade videos aren't called fucking documentaries.
they're not my own. They're not my own. So documentary. That's how National Geographic started.
The amateur section of Pornhub.
National Geographic.
Hey, bro,
How
After
do you
Dark.
know, dude?
Bro, POVs aren't considered.
I do clear my browser history if I died at night.
Calm down, James Cameron. No, they're your POVs.
Go on.
But
Go,
like,
go, go.
so like you're talking about like the dedication that it takes, like like some of these. Shut up, Chris. So some of these girls like start off like on a webcam, like in their room. Shut the fuck up, bro. I'm trying to have whatever.
Okay, go for it.
So like like you talk about the dedication, like dude, they have to market themselves. They have to manage their own website. They have to get their own gear. And then if they're lucky enough,
hard work.
they get picked up by like, I don't know, some porn website
Okay.
that says, hey, we're gonna pay for your, we're gonna pay for you to take
Dude, it
dicks
sounds like
now.
you're collecting like baseball
So,
cards or
I'm gonna
stars.
Marlon, since you brought this topic up, I'm gonna ask you a series of questions and I want you to respond to them. So, would you date somebody who worked at like a Hooters restaurant?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think there's.
So let's go through the spectrums first, because
Yeah, this is what-
Marlon's
that's what I'm
That's the
getting at.
first
That's what
spectrum.
I'm
That's the
getting at.
first
Marlon
one.
has this you give the spiel, Marlon.
Okay,
Tell us exactly what
so
we're
there's
thinking
there's
about
a
right now.
spectrum of like selling sex.
Yeah.
You know, at the very low end, you have your what do you call them?
Restaurants.
Restaurants.
Yeah.
You have your restaurants
Restaurants,
where
that's a word.
where they're not where they're
That's a thing.
where they're in skimpy clothes. They're selling sex. The food's not that great. You're obviously going there
Yeah,
to
it's like
take
a
a look
beer's
at the
cold.
girls.
It's like butthole.
Hey,
Yeah.
And so and then
Hooters wings are
and,
really
and
good.
you have the progression from there. You have strippers. You have
Yeah.
webcam girls. You have full on porn stars, and then you have
Yeah,
like
yeah.
prostitutes.
Prostitutes,
So
yeah.
so for you guys, what's at the one end as far as like socially acceptable, and what's the most taboo, the most like socially
Okay,
unacceptable in your opinion?
I think anybody would date a restaurant waitress.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
if
it's
she had a
fine.
good head on her shoulders.
I dated a restaurant waitress.
All right, what about a cam
So,
girl?
I
Cam
would-
girl's not taking anybody else's
No,
dick.
but here's the thing, dude. I
Would
don't
you
want
date a
my,
cam
I
girl?
don't want my girl's butthole on the internet. You know what I mean?
Because
I think I
shit's
could date a
forever
cam
now.
girl as long as she wasn't taking meat.
But
You
what
know
about
I
her
mean?
face though?
What
dude?
about your meat?
So she's
Well,
faceless.
of course,
like doing
that's a
faceless?
given.
Right, but here's the thing. What if like your uncle could pull up your fucking girlfriend having an orgasm on a webcam?
I think
Because that's possible.
for me, man.
Dale Gastio?
dude, your tío's gonna
El
fucking,
pinche
your
porno.
tío's gonna kill you, bro. Your tío's gonna fucking make fun of you so bad, bro.
Pues y
Come
luego?
on, bro.
Hey, but
would he
hey, but
really
who's
though?
but
She's
who's
like
hey, but who's sleeping with her?
Dime?
Oh,
No, pero you know.
No, I don't think so, man. I mean, I feel like it's more of the intimacy kind of thing for me. The more intimate she is with more dudes or with dudes is like that's the line for me.
Right.
The fact that she's putting her body out there to make maybe she's trying to pay for college, man. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
judge.
Like
But
the
what if
stripper
she's
you know
kind
what I
of
mean?
thing? Like
yeah,
the typical
yeah.
stripper
Like I'm not
story?
gonna
Is
judge.
she paying my mortgage?
It's more about like her being intimate with somebody else, and then it opens up this whole other door of like,
Yeah.
are these people actually, are porn stars actually being really intimate with the people
Yeah.
that they're on camera
Well,
with?
exactly. That's
But see, at the same time, dude, is like
It's
where
a
do you draw the
job.
line?
No,
like,
but it's a
where,
job. Like,
but
it's a
where, at
profession.
what point is sex just sex? You know what I mean? Because
Never.
like, I'm gonna be the fucking beta on this one.
Cam
like,
girl though, you grow right. Stop.
Cam girl?
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I think
what
so.
Do you think stripper or cam girl's worse? Because a stripper actually has contact with guys.
I'm gonna say I would
not
I-
penetration,
I would say
obviously.
I'd rather date a cam girl than a stripper.
That's crazy because I'm the other way. I'd rather date a stripper than a cam
I'm with
girl.
Tom on this.
I
one.
think
Cam
no,
girl or
I'm
stripper.
I'm with Chris. I
Shocked.
think a stripper's like it's like right there. You know what I mean? Like it's the guy's getting all handsy and stuff.
No,
Like
but
that,
Chris
I'd
said
have
he
more
would.
of a problem
Chris
with
just
that.
said he would date a stripper.
over
Oh
a
no,
cam
I'm with
girl.
you guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I'd rather
No,
date,
fuck
Take that
Chris.
back.
I'd rather date stripper because
Rewind.
Like, because
Yeah,
you
you
know,
fuck-
like if you think about it, like because how like you were talking about intimacy, but like some of these like. You know, cam girls, like that doesn't ever go away. Like that's recorded forever, and like and I feel like having an orgasm on camera.
But her
is
being a
lot more
stripper never
intimate.
goes away. You can talk. You can not talk about it, but it's always happened.
Yeah, no, it's happened, but
Yeah,
it's
but
not
there's
on
no, like,
camera, and it's not like a
proof of
proof,
it,
right?
yeah.
But not just that, but like, is she really enjoying herself when she's fucking dancing, or is it just a job, right?
But you could say the
But,
same
like,
thing about
no.
cam doing.
But you don't
cams.
think cam girls like actually like are they're quote unquote pleasuring themselves, right? Because and then that's where the line is like, are they really enjoying what they're doing, right? Like, are they really like
But
having
it's the same
orgasms
thing.
on fucking
It's
camera?
the same thing as a stripper.
Yeah, but a stripper's not actually touching herself and like fucking.
Yeah,
like,
but somebody else is touching
I
her.
think I'm
not that bad, bro.
I'm-
Nobody's
I'm-
rubbing that clit.
I
with
feel
Tom on this
feel
with
like
you.
there's a
It's
level.
almost the same thing.
There's like a forced level with being a stripper. Like you're not in your natural environment. A
That's
girl
true.
that's on her camera, she's doing her own thing. She's
In
being
her
herself
bedroom.
in her
Yeah.
own bedroom.
There's
and
no
what she
pressure.
wants to
It's
do.
just
Hey,
her.
bro, that bat would have been in her butthole anyway. Camera on or off.
So I mean, I'm just saying, I'd probably rather date a cam girl.
But dude, you got these girls now that are like selling their like private Snapchats. Like, hey,
Okay.
give me $20 a month and I'll send
No,
you
no, no.
dirty pictures.
Okay, but there's a different level. I'll date a cam girl that's like a foot fetish cam girl. Shit.
I don't
These
even
girls-
like feet.
I know somebody that tried it. I'm not gonna name any names, but I know a girl that tried it and she ended up getting scammed. But yeah, she got scammed. She was taking pictures of her feet and was like putting them up and was like
Not getting money for him.
No, that was like her and her friend were like taking pictures of their feet, and then somebody like ended up like hitting them up, and they're so stupid. I'm sorry because I know you're gonna listen to this, but they're so stupid because they were like, because the guy was like, "Hey, I'll be your sugar daddy," and he was like, "You need to get an Amazon card and like put $25 on it and send it to me." And it's like, and then she was like, why like how does that work? And he's like, this is the way that things work. And she was like, okay. And
You
then
wanna
the
make it
dude,
in this industry?
yeah.
Do you want to be a foot
Newbie,
model or
you
not?
you fucking rookie. And then like of course what happens, she fucking gives him a $25 Amazon card and then like it's spent within 30 seconds.
I love
And then
that.
she was like, hey, put the fucking money back on the Amazon card. And he's like, no, you fucked up. You needed to put $50 on the Amazon card.
Did she do it?
Fuck no, she smartened up after
okay,
that.
finally.
But it was like, dude, obviously it was a goddamn scam.
Damn.
But anyway, that's like a level. Like if it's like a foot fetish girl or something, she's just putting her feet up there. Because
Okay.
people do that, dude.
So
And they get
Marlon
paid for that
Marlon pulled this. You go back on track to about what you date this girl. Marlon pulled this Jedi mind trick on me. Whenever we first talked about it, we talked about it a while
He's known
back.
for that.
Yeah,
Those
for
bad
sure.
Jedi
So
mind tricks.
this girl, you meet her, and she's
Yeah.
amazing girl. Your fucking
God
dreams. You're dating for a couple of
damn it,
months.
Marlon.
You're dating for
It's
a few months,
always
and
this-
then she pulls, "I'm a cam girl" on
Every
you.
Marvel
Yeah.
No,
story starts
bro,
that way.
okay.
that should be something that you talk about, like date number 3.
No, but what if? Okay, so obviously,
Okay, so date number 3. Okay,
Obviously-
but she said, "Girl, you're fucking head over heels at that
Marlon's
point."
like,
no, not
what
even,
if- what if
not even
Cam-
that, not even that. Like, obviously, put yourself in her shoes. Obviously, she's not gonna come out and say this on date number 3, right? So I think about my fiance, who I love very much. If she were to tell me tomorrow that she's a cam girl, or that she does this, I'd have a really hard time stepping away from that because I care about her so much.
Okay, but you just prefaced that with my fiance is telling me. Fiance leads up, like you have a lot of qualifying things before that.
Exactly, and that's exactly my point, Ray. So if you meet somebody that checks off all the boxes, are you gonna miss out on probably the happiest relationship that you've ever been in your life because of this one
Everything
thing?
is going
but-
great.
Very tough call, very tough call.
But that's weird because you're saying this one thing, but where's that line on the one thing? She's like, hey,
Yeah,
what if
okay,
your
so
fiance, what if
that's-
your fiance
that's what-
tomorrow was like, hey,
That's what
I
he's getting
murder
at.
That's-
people on the weekends.
No,
Oh,
no,
that's
you're like,
obviously-
oh,
That's a
obviously,
different
that's a-
line,
that's a
though.
different
That's
line.
something.
Not even a
That's
different
something
line.
completely
Okay,
different.
so that's a
We're
different
talking
line.
about the line being she's a cam girl, not a murderer,
Okay,
Chris.
but that's the cam girl
Okay,
thing.
but
is
we're
like,
gonna go through the lines. But
Okay.
So
like,
now,
it's
so
a
now
cam
let's
girl
flirt
the
with that
line.
line. Let's okay. So cam
Yeah,
girl, I'm fine with that.
So
I'd
that's
be
okay.
fine with that.
So
I'm
that's
not
that's
okay
the
with
that. If
new.
Sarah- if
That's what
Sarah
we're
tells me
starting out
tomorrow,
at.
Okay.
I'm a
You're,
cam
you're
girl, I'd be
dating a
okay with
girl on the 3rd date. She tells you she's a cam girl, but
out.
those first 2 dates, she's amazing,
Yeah.
the most beautiful, you've never felt more at home. You've never felt
that's the
greater
line.
about a person.
I'm out.
Like,
I'm out.
wait, I want a little bit more backstory on this cam girl, though. No, look, dude, because, like, don't you believe that at the very beginning of any kind of relationship, even a friendship, there has to be a certain amount of respect, mutual respect. Like, hey, what do you do for work? Oh, I do
But,
things.
but
camera.
that doesn't have to be like her main job. I'm sure like a bunch
She's
of
like,
these
I
chicks.
queef
is
on
But what
like-
demand.
if it is her main job? What if
my
that's
job.
her only source of income?
But if you were so if you were doing it, would you
Bro,
come
my
out
dick's
and say
way
it?
too small to be
But would
putting on
you-
the
But would
internet.
you come out and say it? You know what I mean? Date number 3. Would you come and say like, oh hey, what do you do for a living?
I'm
no,
sure there's, like-
I would be
but
like,
there's-
you know,
Okay,
I'm
but
in
date
the I'm
number
in
one, you
online
talk about that, and what do
retail.
you say? Like, hey, Tommy, what do you do? I work for this company. Okay, girl, what do you do? I do things online.
And
No,
I'm
you'd
sure
be like-
depending
you'd be
depending
around
on
the
the individual,
bush.
depending
Yeah.
on the
Right.
girl and the woman, there's probably there might be. I'm not gonna say there's going to be. There might be a certain level of shame that comes with that.
Yeah.
There
so
is.
she might beat around the bush with it,
Yeah.
and then date three comes or date 4 comes, and she's like, "Okay, I have to tell you something."
Yeah.
But everything is 100% amazing up until that point.
Is that the
are
line?
are you just gonna just be like, "Okay, I can't do it anymore"?
That's a
I
really,
might.
really
I'm-
tough.
I might because
that's
it's
a
just
tough
3
call,
days.
dude. I think it
Yeah.
takes the connection, man. If the connection was solid,
That's exactly what
Well, that's
I
what we're
think
saying. The
I-
connection is solid.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
is what we're saying.
presuming that the connection is
Okay.
there. Is
It's
that
the
the line?
it's
for
the
you?
greatest
I don't
dating
know,
you've ever.
man.
The
I don't
greatest
know.
2
Yeah.
dates of your
But
life.
see, you're not that committed. You're just on the
Yeah.
3rd date in. This is the way I'm thinking about it. I'm out, dude. I'm just
Okay,
gonna,
no. We're gonna start with the presumption that everything is there.
Okay.
But
right.
this is the thing
Right,
that's
but
presented.
don't bang on the table. And yes,
Michael.
yes, I'm out. I'm out on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm still in. Dude.
Okay,
You're
I'm
in?
still in.
I'm still
You're
in.
I'm
still
Cam
in.
girl, I'm still in.
Everybody's in. Chris is out on Cam Girl.
Yeah.
Okay,
What next? Go.
let me
Okay.
push. Okay, so what if she said, I do porn?
I'm out.
Well, like,
Well, obviously.
Okay, wait, let's stop
no,
subgenre.
I'm back in.
Subgenre.
Porn star, not.
Wait, hold on.
wait,
Hold on, hold on.
Lesbian porn,
Yes,
lesbian porn. I'm in,
subgenre, only girl on girl.
Girl on
I do
girl?
only girl on girl.
Okay,
I'm
girl on
in.
girl.
I'm in. Girl on girl. I'm in.
So not by herself, but girl. Okay.
It's a joke.
Girl on girl, Chris. I mean, Ray.
man, it's hard, but yeah, I think so. I think
You
I'd
see
be
that
okay with
twinkle in
that.
his eye? It's like, fuck yeah. You know?
He's like, you're twisting my arm. Girl on girl,
He's
you're
like, you
twisting
know
my
what?
arm.
You know what? I
Yes,
respect your
I'm
decision,
in.
and I respect that you told me.
But like, well, hold on, like, can you pay my house note, my truck note, along with all
Probably
this
not.
money that you're getting?
Thomas, girl on girl porn. Yes
Girl
or
on
no?
girl. It's porn, of course, and I could still do it.
Yeah.
I probably still do it.
Same.
I would still do it.
Okay. What's next? What's the next?
The next is full on, full on
bats in the
anal.
butt.
Vaginal
Bats in the butt.
penetration.
Yeah,
No, I want
yeah,
the bats
with
in the
dudes, specifically with dudes, that have bigger dicks than you, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, for sure,
longer
for
and
sure that
girthier.
they're
Well,
for
if you're
sure
doing porn.
full on porn,
Yeah.
gangbangs, the whole 9 yards.
Cockies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you be okay with
The
that?
ancient art of
I
bukkake.
mean, Chris has been out. Chris has been out since Hooters waitresses,
No, I dated a Hooters waitress, so it's
and that's why he's out, people.
yeah, actually. Yeah.
Where are you serving burgers and skinny
I draw the line.
clothes?
I draw the line
You
at IHOP
slut.
waitresses.
Dude, this topic is actually a lot harder than I thought it was gonna be, dude. I don't know, man.
So are the dicks railing your fucking
My-
potential girlfriend?
Okay,
My
okay.
potential
So you've
wife.
been you've been dating her for 3 months.
Damn.
And, okay, wait, but there's no lead up. She's like, "Hey, bro, I fucking take rail dick."
Yeah.
on
Well, no,
the
what
date.
if she's
on the
like, "Hey
regs.
Ray, like I just never wanted to come out with it because I knew how you might
Ah.
react a certain way, and everything's been great up until now, but it's been 3 months, and it's been the greatest 3 months of my life, and I know it's been the greatest 3 months of your life.
Okay.
But let me finish. Let me finish.
Go finish.
But I have to tell you something, Ray. I'm a porn star.
I suck dick.
So
for
I'm a
breakfast.
fucking super irrational person. So I'd be like, "Bro, you should have fucking told me this on like date 1."
Okay, so you're.
But what? But what
I'm
if she
out.
said- what if
I'm
she-
out.
I didn't
You're
tell
out.
you
You're
because
out.
I think you would have run away when I first told you that.
Oh, don't pull at my heartstrings,
Oh.
dude.
No, but that's the
I don't know,
reality
I
of
just-
it.
That's the reality
The
of it.
reality
Yeah.
of it, I still believe that there should be a certain amount of respect and trust and honesty.
Oh,
Which is
what
why
if she
she's
does it?
telling
What
you
if she
there.
does it in this dope way where she was like she mailed you a letter and asked you not to open it, and then when she tells you,
What
you're
the
like,
fuck? No one does
you opened
that.
the letter and it was backdated from then. I wanted to tell you this whole time.
Yeah.
Oh, how romantic!
off. I don't know, dude. I don't know, man.
So
don't know.
you're out.
Okay, so
I
let's
think so.
let's dial it back.
Yeah.
Let's dial it back. So I do.
Why?
Hold on. I do porn, but I don't do like gangbangs.
But I
I
go
don't
to
do
church
like
every Sunday.
I do only small dicked guys who are very unattractive. It's a very specific niche.
I do 5 inches and under. Only
rough.
strictly
That's
little
rough.
dickly.
Dude, I don't know, man. That's a really tough.
No, it's
call.
tough for me, man. But it's tough for me. But I think I could
No.
probably try. I could make an attempt to see past it and then see how I
Okay,
would
you
feel
know what?
about it.
I'm with you on that. I think I could try and make an attempt, but it's gonna be a half-ass, fucking lame-ass attempt because
No,
I
'cause
told you I'm an irrational person, and that
I
to me-
think for me, I'm out
Yeah, I'm
solely
out too.
because you would Google, you mean not Google, but you'd look that shit up, right? And that the first thing you would see is like this giant fucking
Dude, just
whale of a cock
pounding
entering.
girl.
Impaling.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and like that would just kind of do it for me.
That's it.
Yeah.
Where if it's just lesbian stuff or cam girl stuff where she's by herself, it's not it. You know, it's it can't.
Are you sure? Are you sure that it's because it's not necessarily like it's a big old dick? It's
No,
just,
no,
like
it's
if it's a,
no,
if
no,
it's
no.
a dick at all.
So no, no,
It's
it's
just
a
not
dick at
your
all.
dick.
If it's a tiny little dick,
What
and
if
she's
the-
fucking it. What that
What
doesn't
if she's
matter to
getting
me.
impaled
It's just
by a
like
huge-ass
okay,
dildo
so like.
a lesbian?
I can't offer her what she
she's getting
I
paid
can't
by a
offer her what she
lesbian.
gets whenever she's doing her thing on cam, and I can't offer her what she gets when she's doing shit with
But
a
if-
lesbian. But where I am a direct competitor, who I'm a direct competitor
Hey,
is a
it's
dude with a
the-
dick.
it's
Does that
the
make
threat.
sense or no?
Okay, so this is the part that's fascinating to me because you talk to these people and they're able to separate.
Work.
That's work, and this
Okay,
is not. This
Yeah.
is
they
not,
are,
Yeah.
but I'm not.
No,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
well,
but-
that's what I'm saying. But you're saying you're coming from a point where you're thinking that you're in direct competition with these performers.
I guess that,
But it's not.
competition was the wrong word to be used.
But see, yeah, because
But it's
I'm
not.
thinking
But
that,
it's
like,
not the wrong word because you are in kind of sort of competition because you know what? Like people, like even like guys have insecurities about like, oh, my girlfriend's coworker talks to her all the time. That's the fucking coworker,
Yeah.
bro. But he's railing her too.
No, but see, but that's different. That's more intimate. Like when it comes to like the porn stuff, like I think it's a job, and I don't think that like these girls are actually like.
But you're still out.
But
Oh, I'm out. I'm out. But
Okay.
I'm out. I'm out.
This is like
Making
Shark
sure.
Tank.
But
If
I'm
you're out, you
I'm
can't-
For, I'm
you
out.
can't-
No,
you
no.
can't
I'm
say
out
anything
for
else.
something. I'm out for other reasons, right? Because I just don't want that shit on fucking camera. You know, I just don't want that shit on.
Okay, what about like a former porn star?
No, yeah. What I'm saying is like,
Okay,
this is
that's
what I'm
another
saying.
level.
Because like women, as far as like the competition thing, I know that you didn't mean to say it that way, but it kind of popped something in my head. Like women's orgasms and shit, and like them actually enjoying sex, really is more. It's deeper than just getting fucking railed. Like it really is. Like there's other shit involved when it comes to like girls like actually enjoying sex and shit. You think you're just gonna fucking
cue Celine Dion song.
yeah. You think you're just gonna fucking fucking bunny rabbit fuck some girl, dude? Okay, you're just gonna go.
eyes when I couldn't see.
Have you ever just like had sex with a girl and just like fucking just like try to like rabbit fuck her? Like just fucking like, that shit doesn't work, bro. Like there's gotta be some
Like,
other
dude, the
shit
boss
in
was
there
really
involved.
fucking riding my
You know
ass
what I
today
mean?
at work.
There's
No,
other
okay,
shit involved
so-
with that.
okay,
So it's
I
that
don't
could
know,
be
man.
like acting and all
So,
that
but
involved.
at the same time, I don't know, man. It does get really tough there, and for whatever reason, it's not the competition thing. That's the wrong word to be used. It's just like for somebody that isn't in that industry, the most intimate that you can get with a person is having sex with them.
I agree with that.
And so whenever they're having sex with somebody else, no matter what how
if
you
they're
spin
even
it,
if they're acting,
even if they're acting,
yeah.
the act is still occurring. That action is still occurring. That is sex is still happening, no matter
Right.
how you want to spin it.
Right.
And for me,
Even
that's
if they're
where
not, even if they're not enjoying
even if they're not
it, yeah.
enjoying it, it's
Yeah.
it's still happening.
happening.
You know, because that's
Yeah.
the most
Yeah.
sacred and important thing in a relationship, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So when that's happening, that's where I have to pull out.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
But that's,
see what
bro,
you did
bro,
there.
that is such
That was so
bullshit, though.
deep.
That is such bullshit because think about the times that you hooked up, the times that we've all hooked up with people outside of
But I was
being-
never.
Yeah, but that's
I was
in the
like,
past.
I've never been
That's
in a
the past.
relationship with
Right.
chicks that are fucking other dudes, though.
I know,
to
but,
my knowledge.
but you just
your knowledge.
but you just said that it was such a that sex is such a personal such a
When you're in a relationship with somebody, when you're in a relationship with somebody, like
Dude, you're
That-
talking about like past. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, everybody has.
if,
a
if,
past.
someone-
I know.
if a girl's had sex with dudes before, okay, that happens, right? You're gonna have sex with people. But I'm talking about if I'm in a relationship with somebody,
and she's still having.
I don't
sex.
want her performing these sacred acts with somebody else if we're in the relationship.
But I'm
together.
saying that they're not sacred because
But
I mean, what's
it's different when it's happening at the same time.
Yeah.
You're like, long day at work. She's like, long day.
you have no idea, buddy.
Long day at work
so
today,
that's the
sweetheart.
difference,
It's
like
fucking different.
you know. So I mean,
I guess.
Okay, so let me ask you this though.
Okay,
So
okay,
at
okay.
the same time,
next person. Okay, keep it.
what about like a former porn star?
That's-
She's
okay, that's where I was
hey,
gonna get.
Yeah,
so
so
like,
that's a good-
okay,
that was a
so
good
day
one.
3 comes along. Hey, I gotta tell you, I used to do porn. Really? Let me look this up. What's your name?
Yeah.
Got it.
I think I can still do it. I think I could do it then. I
Former
think I'm
porn
back in.
star?
I saw
think I'm
Mia,
back in.
Mia Khalifa did an interview because she's been out of porn for a long time,
She's still
by the way.
hot.
And so she was saying that it's really hard for her. It's been really hard for her to get a job and blah blah blah, blah you know, all this stuff. And I felt bad for her because it's true, dude. Like you leave the industry. Let's say you had a bad experience.
Yeah.
You just don't like it anymore. You want to get out. You have such a hard time.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're
I mean,
getting
I can
back into it because
sympathize with her.
everywhere you
Yeah.
go.
This is what I'm gonna tell you. You shouldn't sympathize with them. You know why? Because Jenna Jameson. Okay, and then you have Tracy Lords. They had lives after porn.
But they-
Jenna Jameson is a very successful
But
businesswoman.
okay,
but
yeah,
all-
yeah,
but
but
you're
all
talking
those
about,
people,
like,
all
the-
those people
just
they leveraged their porn careers into something
Yeah.
else.
Okay, well then
afterwards.
Mia Khalifa
These
didn't
people-
do it right.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying.
No, but so many people. I mean, that's
you're-
like
y'all are
that's like
talking
comparing.
about like the A-list, bro. These are like the A-list fucking
Yeah,
celebrities
you're talking
of
about the
porn.
most
Yeah.
famous.
I'm talking about like the
Okay,
mid-level
so
people.
but if you're
Those
like
people don't-
mid-level, dude, people forget that shit. Yeah, it's gonna be there forever. But like, hey, I used to do porn. What was your name? I don't know, Tracy Sunshine. Who?
Tracy Sunshine.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yo.
I don't know, dude. So
I-
okay, so what I'm saying is, well, if I go back to what I was saying, I can't do it because she's having intimate relationships. She's
so not
performing the act with
not
somebody else.
not an active porn star.
Yeah,
And
I
I agree
I
with
could
you.
do it just because she's not doing that anymore. You know what I mean? For me, it's all like, I want you to be the only person that's I'm
Yeah.
into. I mean, I want you to be I want you to only have sex with me.
Yes.
It's gonna be we're exclusive, right? And that's where I'm coming in.
Bro, but here's the thing that I think about is like, if you get an email tomorrow of your girlfriend that you're dating at the time, and it's an email with like 1,000 different pictures of 1,000 different dudes, and she's sucking all of their dicks, you're gonna start thinking about like, should I stay with this person?
So,
That's gonna come to your mind. You're gonna be like, dude, you fucked 1,000 dudes.
Okay, so I guess at that point it depends on how long you've been with her, right?
Yeah.
But that's the same thing
and I
with
bring it
porn.
back.
It's like dick
I-
after dick after
Bro, hold
dick.
on,
It's
I
like,
bring it. I bring
damn.
it back. I bring it back to.
Well, no, the fact that bothers me is that she never told you. But if she
Yeah.
had told you, like, hey, I was a porn star from the
Yeah,
onset,
yeah, from the onset,
then
it's
you're
different.
like, okay, so I got a link with her
Yeah.
taking a bunch of different dicks.
Yeah,
I knew
yeah.
she was a porn star. I knew what I was getting into.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I keep coming back to my fiance and how much I feel about her because
I want her to listen to this.
because I think that for me that's like the most I've ever loved anybody in my life.
Yeah.
Right. And it's
Okay.
she's the most important person to me, and I feel that if she were to tell me that this is the situation that I'm in, I wouldn't be able to just drop it and say no. You know what I mean? So in that
but
context,
you're also thinking
we
in
all
your
have our
context that
lines.
you're thinking you've already invested so much into this, though.
that's
You
true.
know, this isn't just
true.
like a third date kind of thing, Marlon. This is like a fucking lifelong
but
commitment that you guys have had and built.
Bro, but see,
A third date isn't building
But then
shit.
you'd have to think about what Tom just said. That point is super important. The fact that she kept it from you for so long would have to be something that you considered.
Yeah, if it was something she kept from me for that long, I
You're
just
like,
couldn't.
bro, you lied
I
to
think
me
it's like,
for
what else are you
fucking
holding back? What
7
else are you
years?
capable of? No, for sure. No,
You
for
know
sure.
what I mean?
Like that's key.
That's
That is-
even worse than
that is so
sucking
key.
dick on HD. You
Yeah,
know
for
what
sure.
I mean?
Like trust is the biggest thing, you
Yeah.
know. And if I can't
It's like-
trust you and you're barely telling me now because guilt got to you, then
Yeah. So that's
then
a
I'm
whole
out. I'm
different
sorry. I'm
animal.
outie.
Yeah.
Like even though I love you with all of my heart and have invested all of this love and everything, I just couldn't do it.
Right.
I think we just all have our own lines. And
Yeah, I think that's
Amen.
well. It's also a super individual kind of thing.
yeah,
you know?
that's what I'm saying. We all have our own lines, man. Like
Not everyone gets to date a porn star, so
Maybe one day,
Yeah.
Mike.
It was a good. It was a good one.
so y'all should think about it.
Something to
what's
think about.
Think about what your line is.
What the fuck?
I think me and Ray
Yo.
were pretty much on the same.
Yeah.
Same
I
wavelength.
would I would love to hear from people that are in this situation from the partner's
Email
perspective,
us
not
at,
from I mean
What's our email?
I would love to talk to
Somebody in the
somebody in the industry
Yeah.
and see what their life has been like.
Like
Hit
a
us up
current-
on
But
the
I would
IG.
I would also like to talk to their partner and see
Maybe-
like what the you know what I mean.
maybe we can find somebody and interview.
Yeah, maybe we can film it.
Maybe we can find some local cam girls.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
The different levels and cam boys too.
Hey, let's start
I
it.
guess.
So-
Let's
so-
not- we're not gonna
so-
we're not
let's not
gonna
discriminate
we're not
here.
gonna discriminate.
Let's switch gears a little bit.
I think this
we
is,
wanted to talk about our experiences. We're all around 30, nearing 30.
30.
Some of us are over 30.
Am I the older one? Am I the
I
oldest
think
one?
you're
Yeah,
what,
that's fine.
33?
So,
34.
so we
So,
wanted to
I
talk
think
about.
so. This particular topic Ray always brings up. So Ray,
Yeah.
you kind of give us insight on what you're thinking all the time.
This is actually a topic that my girlfriend brought up to me because like she gets to see like firsthand like how bad my hangovers are, like and how like hard I like to rage like the night before, and it's like over the years it's like taking its toll on me. Like, do you remember in college we could drink all night, wake up, no hangover, no nothing, and then go out to the beach all day, drink all day, and then continue drinking into the
Fun
night?
fact: Chris doesn't get hangovers still.
Zero.
Yeah, it's because you pee all over shampoo bottles
That's
and
what
throw
it
up.
is. Yeah,
If you pee on shampoo bottles, that is the
It's a
cure.
hangover
That is a
cure.
Yeah, I don't have hangovers at all. It's
And
weird.
be afraid of thunderstorms.
Like we will. I am afraid of thunderstorms. This is a known fact. When we record these podcasts, right? This is a known fact. Sometimes we stay up till very late.
Four,
Not
four,
because
five,
not
six.
because we're
4 or 5.
recording, but because we're just shooting this shit.
So, yeah.
Because I'm hanging out
We
with my
usually,
homeboys once a month.
we usually go out.
So
we
we
go
go
out
out.
to a few bars, and then we come back. I have a lot of whiskey. We drink whiskey
Right.
at my place afterward
Sometimes
all
we
the
get
time.
tacos between going out and the whiskey.
For sure.
Right. So then sometimes it's not. Mike. I always stay with Mike. Thank you, Mike. You're such a lovely host. We're up till fucking 4 or 5 in the morning all the time, bro. My alarm goes off at 8:30. I'm on
And
the
you're
road
out.
by
You're out.
9. By 9 o'clock on 4 hours of sleep, and I drive 3 hours, and I get home and I have a full fucking day of being a dad and a fiance and doing all that shit. No problem, no headaches,
Yeah.
nothing.
I
dude.
fucking
It's great.
envy you,
But here's
dude.
the thing. But here's the thing. I have to get fucking shit faced. Because if I only have, if I stop drinking right now, if I had 4 or 5 beers, I will wake up tomorrow and I will have the slightest of headaches. It is fucking crazy.
the slightest of
The
headaches.
slightest, just enough to annoy you, dude.
I think
just enough
so.
to
For
annoy
me,
you.
it's the opposite. I think for most people,
Yeah.
it's the
Yeah.
fucking
For most people, it's the
You're
I could have a
fucking
couple and be
freak of
okay.
nature, dude.
It's weird, man.
Yeah.
So that's not how I fucking judge my age. You know how I judge my age? How many times have I pulled my hamstring in the last month? Dude, if I don't fucking stretch and warm up correctly and I just go up the stairs a little faster than I fucking usually do, my hamstring will just go, it'll just remind me, bro. Now, I won't pull it. My hamstring will just go, hey,
I guess
it'll just remind me
I
that
guess
it's there.
I wouldn't make that trade then,
And I
bro.
was
Like, I'd rather it feels really, really shitty for one day. than having a
I
fucked up
need
hamstring.
because like the other day I went to the to the brewery for lunch, and my boss ended up getting back to the office at around the same time that I did. My boss doesn't care, dude. My boss is cool as fuck, but there's still something about, like, I just wanted to be back in my office before she was in the office, and I knew she was going to take the elevator, so I was like, I'm about to run up these 7 fucking flights of stairs right now, because I'm on the 7th floor. So I'm fucking just jogging up these goddamn, skipping stairs and shit. Dude, I got up to like the 6th floor, and like halfway up that flight, I felt my fucking hammy just a tad. Just like slow down, champ. Slow down. You're not 21 anymore. And so I ended up like getting up to the 7th floor. I opened the fucking door to from the stairwell, and my boss like sees me at the same time.
All
We
sweaty.
made eye contact.
Did you throw
Breathing
up?
heavy.
Did you
I was
throw
like,
up? I think I've seen this episode of Mad Men. Right.
And it was just so funny because I was like, "What?" I thought I was gonna beat the elevator. Like, I don't know, but it was just my hamstrings.
You can't
bro.
beat a machine, bro.
I need to stretch before I run, and I never do. Used to back in the day, we used to, oh, you want to go play like flag football? Fuck yeah! I would just show up.
Now I gotta
after a day of
stretch.
drinking, never stretch, never nothing, and just be fine. And now, dude, I need to fucking I need to warm up before.
See, like
exercises and
but you
shit.
don't drink beer very often, or when
So
you go to a bar.
no, so if I drink beer, I'm usually fine. I drink whiskey, so it's a lot heavier. There's a lot more alcohol
but you
content
drink
in
whiskey
there.
when you get home from the bar.
I drink whiskey all night, Ray. Okay. and so definitely, like, I know it's because the alcohol content is so much greater in whiskey. I know that.
So how did you feel when you wake up?
Like a fucking bitch,
Damn.
Ray.
So what about you, Mike?
So if I drink whiskey for a really long time, if I start at 10 and I drink and I stay up all night with
Till
fucking
4?
till
Yeah,
4,
till 4.
My hangover will be like 2 days, bro. I can't do.
What?
I'll wake up and it's
That's
not just a
wild.
headache. I can take Tylenol. I can take ibuprofen or whatever for the headache.
The body?
But it's just my body aching and just the feeling of not wanting to do anything that'll last me far longer than it would if I
2-day
just had
hangover,
drank
man.
And
beer.
I used to. So I had this roommate who was a little bit older than me, and this is probably I was about 25 or so, and so he was like on the cusp of being 30 or something. So we would go out and we would drink on a Friday night after work, and we'd stay up till 2 a.m., till 3 a.m., 4 a.m., whatever. We'd come back, and then the next day I'd be like, "Hey, what's up, man? We're gonna go, let's go out tonight again, or let's go to the beach, or let's go do something." And he'd be like, "Nah, bro, nah." And then I'm like, "What a fucking pussy, whatever." And he was this big. It made me feel good because he was this big. He was this big, like, buff guy.
So you.
He was this big. Yeah, he was this big buff guy, and he looked all tough or whatever. And I was like, "Yeah, man, I could hang more than you can." But then it's almost like as soon as I turned 30, dude, I was just like, I started noticing that my hangovers were fucking disastrous, dude. It would I would be home and that's why I stopped drinking.
you,
That's why
Chris.
when I started
Maybe it's
dying,
coming, dude.
I stopped
Maybe it's coming
drinking
for me. I don't know.
because
It's gonna
I
hit
was
you like a sledgehammer, bro.
because I was just
I
like
just had a sweet tea for lunch. Like, my head hurts so bad right now.
I would drink and I would wake up in the morning and I have this regimen after I have a heavy night of drinking. So I wake up, I take, first of all, before I go to bed, I extra hydrate, and then I take just 4 ibuprofen, and then I go to sleep.
Yeah.
And that helps with the headache somewhat. But if it's a really bad hangover,
nothing you
then
can do.
I'll still have it in the morning. And
There's
what I
nothing you
do
can
is I go into the shower and I take like a fucking 30-minute shower just there with hot
Oh.
water.
Hot
So
water?
whenever I'm hungover, I don't take showers. I take baths, bro. I straight up
Bath
take
bomb,
hot
candle.
baths.
And then by the way, by the time I get out, I don't know but I feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
But still, I just feel achy. I feel
Yeah.
like just laying down. And that's what I was saying is that I stopped drinking because the decisions that I make the day after are just like put food in my mouth and just like inhale
Nice.
it.
Yeah.
Just like, burgers, fries, hot dogs.
For me, I hardly ever get hungover. The only times I get hungover is if I have liquor that has sugar. Like if I
But-
drink margaritas.
To be fair, you hardly get
Oh,
rid of
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
trash.
To be fair, you drink you drink way less than we do. now.
Whoa.
But if I have like a Starfucker, like sweet shots,
Ooh,
like
Yeah.
those nights. are the
Sugar
nights,
does make known fact.
those
Sugar
nights-
does make
Those
your
nights
hangovers
are the
worse.
nights that I will, or
Smells.
the nights where I'll wake up hungover the next
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
But hangovers for me are like a day at the most.
But is there anything else other than just drinking that has like it shows your age, where you're just like, dude, this wasn't a thing back in the day. Like maybe I could stay up later, or like I just like
naps, dude.
or
I
was
love taking
faster,
naps.
or I wasn't as
I've always had
tired,
naps.
or like what, like something that maybe has where you're like, dude, that wasn't the case when I was 21.
Yeah. So I go to the doctor on a yearly basis. I
Nice.
get my yearly checkups.
Yes.
And this past year, man, just recently, my blood pressure was like exceedingly high.
Damn, dude.
And
Did you fast before?
the
That-
only thing
that
I had
affects
that
your blood
morning,
pressure.
I just had I had a protein shake that morning.
Okay,
and
that. Believe it or not, anything, because I have a yearly checkup.
Okay.
We have to do it for work, dude. We
Yeah.
get blood work, we get echocardiogram, we do
And raise the
breathing-
doctor.
Fuck off. But eating anything before, like 6 hours
Yeah.
to 8 hours before, will throw off your fucking
No,
blood
so
work, man.
I go on a yearly basis, and so every year my blood pressure is like slightly elevated, a little more
And
elevated,
it's just getting a little higher,
a
little
little
higher,
little
yeah.
more elevated, to where this year my doctor was like, okay, you know what, we're gonna have to schedule you in another appointment in 6 weeks, and you need to
Damn.
lay off sodium.
Yeah.
And you
Sodium's
need to,
hard.
Yeah, she also told me to lay off alcohol for a different reason, but
For the erectile dysfunction.
no.
Hey, is that a thing?
I'm sorry,
that's
Michael.
Never,
I'm
that's
sorry.
never been an issue.
I'm sorry. Dude, I feel so bad for
That's
saying
never
that
been
now.
an issue. No, so
piece
it's
of
like
shit.
when you find when you hear things like, oh, you need to
Lay off.
you need to lay off these things for your health. You're like,
Like,
what the
why?
fuck? Like
Yeah.
I'm not even 30 yet.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm not gonna
29.
die.
I'm 29.
Oh.
I'm 29 as well.
Dude, the alcohol thing was the biggest eye opener of like.
But is that
For
it
me-
for you? Just alcohol?
No,
Like, is there
for me
anything
it's
else other
sleep.
than
Oh,
alcohol?
For me, it's sleep,
Okay,
man. If
let's go on sleep.
if
Let's-
I get less than 6 hours of sleep, I'm fucked.
Really?
Yeah, dude. I need,
Damn.
What the fuck, dude? I function on like 4 hours. of
okay,
I
so
can roll on
that's
4. I
different
had
for
4
everybody.
last
For
night.
me, man, I'm like I'm a night person, so it's rough, man. Because I mean, I
You're active at night.
yeah, for sure. But yeah, as I've gotten older, if I get 5 hours of sleep, I feel like shit.
Dude,
Remember,
that's
Marla, I told you I got like
crazy.
3
Yeah.
hours of sleep one time or 4 hours, and I was like, I felt
That's
so
wild, dude.
terrible.
Because I do that
Like,
all the time.
body-wise,
Like,
too?
anytime we play FIFA,
Huh?
Like body, like you felt just bad.
No, I just don't.
need to
I'm
nap, like-
so exhausted mentally and
Yeah.
yeah, physically too. Like I don't want to go to the gym, and I go to the gym 4 or 5 times a week, right? I don't want to go to the gym, and just mentally, like I just can't get it together.
bro, that's weird. Because like last night we were playing FIFA. We play FIFA online, right? We went to sleep at like 3 a.m. maybe. I think we played one more game after you got off, so it was like 3 a.m. And I woke up at 7:30. Like just
What?
woke up and fucking had breakfast early and did a bunch of shit with the family, and then I drove 3 hours to Houston, and I'm here now, and I'm sure we're gonna be up until 4 in the morning tonight.
Jesus
And
Christ.
so, and I'm
Yeah.
fine, dude. And here we are, you know. And like, the sleep thing just, but the sleep is different for different people. Like some
Yeah.
people need more sleep
Yeah.
For
than
sure.
other people do. You know,
Yeah.
like maybe I'm just one of those people that just doesn't need
Well, dude,
8
Yeah,
hours,
my,
6
my,
hours.
my
sleep.
average my
I
average
just-
my average is like between 5 and 6 hours, six and a half
need-
hours.
yeah.
I need
I-
6.
I
minimum,
don't-
6 to 7.
Like,
It's
I can
it's rare.
sleep.
It's rare when I sleep more than 7 hours.
Like I can sleep more than 7 hours, but like I think that's I'm just so
Dude, the
my body's so
internal-
used to waking up like at a certain time where I can't sleep
Yeah.
past like 7:30.
So I don't think I sleep 8 hours. I'm just saying I have to have 6 hours because anything below is
Yeah.
I'm fucked, and then like I'm right around 6 every
But
night.
but like I feel for me, regardless of what time I go to sleep, I'll be up by 8.
Dude,
Like, I can't sleep past 7:30.
I don't have like that internal clock. I'm a shift worker, so I
Yeah,
flip flop
yeah,
between day
yeah,
and
that's
night.
different.
So
Yeah.
So you can sleep on command, I bet, huh?
no, well, kinda.
My wife used to be a night
Yeah, she was
shift
on the night
nurse,
shift.
and
that,
so yeah,
She
she's
would just sleep
she,
on.
But for-
instantly.
she can
She's
sleep
like-
whenever
she
she
was-
wants to.
she
I wish I
was-
could do that because I can't.
she
I'm
was
terrible.
only night shift though, right? For like the longest time.
Yeah, she's day shift now.
So
but-
I flip flop every
that's
set, like
rough,
every
dude.
few days.
That's
So
rough.
I've noticed I've been doing this job for about 8 years, and I've been shift worker for 8 years. So I've noticed that I am more sleepy when I get off of days
Yeah.
because I have to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning to be at work by 4:30, and then
Fuck.
when I work, days are usually busier too. But like whenever I get home from work, man, like
Dude, that's
like before my girlfriend moved in with me,
Yeah.
I would nap till like 8 o'clock at night, and then I'm fucked because I'm awake.
Dude, yeah,
and then I go
yeah.
to sleep at noon or midnight and wake up at 3 a.m. to go to work. But whenever I come home from day shift or night shift, I get home about 5:30. I'll eat breakfast or dinner for me, and I'll pass out. I'll be asleep by
Yeah.
6 a.m. in the morning,
Oh.
and I will sleep till 2, bro.
Dude, that's fucking crazy. Like it's I don't know, man. I'm glad that I guess I'm not as reliant on sleep now. But you're fucking scaring me with this whole like the 30 is the
Bro,
deadline. As soon as 30
That's
happens,
when it happened. That's when I noticed it. To
You
be.
got
worse.
1 month. You got 1 month,
You're
Chris.
gonna need 10 hours of sleep or you're fucked. You know, I got 1 month.
But isn't it?
Fuck
It's kind of weird though, because like elderly people need less sleep.
Yeah,
Like,
really?
it's just, yeah.
Dude, my grandparents function off of like 5.
My grandma doesn't sleep like
Yeah.
Really?
Elderly people don't need that much sleep. So,
Oh.
so you're good, bro. I think you're
alright, I'll be
solid,
fine.
man.
I'm gonna be sleeping
It
30
fucking
minutes
pisses
when I'm
me
like
off that
80.
you don't get hangovers.
If the only thing, it's such a crutch, bro. I just have to keep drinking.
Yeah, when I start
stop drinking.
when I start to feel it and be like, okay, I've drank too much. I don't look at my cup and be like, man, I need to power through this.
I do.
Sometimes
I absolutely
it
won't have an
surprises-
unfinished beer.
It surprises the fuck out of me. Sometimes at night, at the end of the night, I'm like, dude, I'm gonna be so fucked tomorrow. And then I wake up and I'm like, I'm fine.
One of these days, that's not gonna
One of
happen.
these days, it's gonna be the opposite.
Real quick, do you have a hangover cure? Like
No.
back then and
Nothing
now?
works.
Nothing
works.
Nothing works.
When I was younger,
Drink water.
Yeah,
when I was younger, what used to help me was
Yeah.
that Coke Malibu
yeah.
and orange
Lubriderm.
juice. No
Lubriderm.
Lubriderm. I can't jerk
Olay.
off when I'm hungover.
I like when you drink it, bro. Like,
Oh, but now Pedialyte and Excedrin, bro.
I drink Pedialyte sometimes, and it helps. But I'm saying, like, for the amount of whiskey that I drink on a night that I'm going in,
Yeah.
and I'm like, there's nothing that's gonna help me.
No.
Well,
There's nothing that's gonna save my liver.
You should drink a
Yeah.
whole bottle of Pedialyte before you go to sleep.
I have
Like,
done that several times, and it's
No.
you still. It's not the headache, man. It's just that ickiness, the
Yeah.
muscle aches.
Yeah.
Like, it's not gonna go
you just
away,
feel
bro.
rough. So sleeping and hangovers, anything else?
And a
you guys wanna
bomb ass
touch?
shower.
No, anything else that you guys like
The
have
aging
noticed?
thing?
Oh, noticed?
Yeah.
Working out
see.
for sure, man. Like
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not as like gung ho anymore.
Really?
Yeah, dude. I mean, I work out still often, but it's not like it's hard to get motivated now. Before
Yeah.
maybe that comes with getting a little bit older, but also like being in a marriage, being married. Like I
Yeah.
guess before when you're single, you're just like I need to be in tip
Yeah.
top shape. I need to
Yeah.
be like this fucking god whenever I
Yeah.
walk into somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think.
you want to be the threat.
But I no, yeah, for sure. But I think that I don't think I'm as I'm not as strict as with my body that I used to be, bro. Like
Yeah.
my diet was just so good, my fucking workout routine was so strict. My
Yeah.
routine was just like
Yeah.
it has to be this way.
Yeah.
And now it's a lot more flexible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I actually, I had this conversation with a coworker fairly recently because like I'm, a smaller frame person, and so most of my life, like I've struggled staying at a certain weight. Like if I
Yeah.
don't eat so much in a day,
Yeah.
I'm gonna lose weight.
Yeah.
Like it just happens.
Uh-huh.
And
That shit'll stop.
a couple, yeah. So that's where I was headed, Bray.
Uh-huh.
So a
Hey,
few weeks
point-
ago,
Point the mic to your face.
a few weeks ago, I had a pretty bad cold, and so like when I get sick, like usually
You lost
kinda
weight.
lose your
Your
appetite.
appetite.
Like so, in the past, like in years past, when I'd get a cold, like I would end up losing like 3 or 4 pounds.
Yeah.
Damn.
So I got in a week, yeah. So in that week that I was sick, like I was checking my weight, and I'm like, oh, my weight's not going down. My weight's not going down. So I was sick for I had a cold for about a week.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the week, I checked my weight, and I was like, I'm still at the same weight, which is like very new for me. So I was
Yeah.
like, holy fuck, like
I'm
I'm
getting
at
old.
I'm
Damn.
at this point now where like I don't have to eat like this
Damn.
much in a day just to
Yeah.
maintain my weight. Like I can maintain my weight.
It's just
like,
staying there now.
it's
Damn.
just- my body's
now you're gonna get
my
fat.
body. No. My body's telling me like this is how much you weigh.
on the positive side, I guess something that I've noticed is that I've gotten less. I want to say maybe like less self-centered or not self-centered. I don't know if that's the right
Are
word.
you like
Less
more
selfish.
but
Like,
more
are you more like I don't. Emotional is not the word that I'm looking for, but like
less impulsive.
Sensitive.
empathetic.
I'm more empathetic, and I try to put myself in other people's shoes
I'm
when I'm
less,
forming
I got
an
older.
when I'm forming an opinion, and so like an example of it, like I'll go back to through my feed of like what I would post on the internet, and it was the stupidest fucking shit,
Oh, we've talked about this.
and it was so self-serving and just like it was just annoying. Like I annoyed myself. Like my old self
think-
annoyed me
like,
today.
I think
What
back
kind of
then,
I just like
jackass
rolled
was
my
that?
eyes. I was
then
even
you-
embarrassed.
back then we were trying to be like a thirst trap, dude. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like we were
yeah.
just posting things to impress other people. You know,
Yeah,
like it was
I-
just it
I've
was all
noticed that I'm
about the
getting-
illusion of who you are.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's what you were posting. And now it's like dude, honestly, I rarely even post on Instagram anymore or
Yeah.
Facebook hardly
Yeah,
ever.
yeah.
But I don't. I don't really want to care. I don't care to show people what's going on in my life too much, unless it's something that's really, really cool. Or I took a really cool photo.
Yeah.
Something like
Otherwise, it's just kind of,
Yeah.
Well, back then it was just like, I have to post this picture. These bitches have to know what I'm doing. These bitches have to know how I look. And now it's like, I guess I'm at a point in my life where
one other
it doesn't
thing
matter.
that had crossed my mind recently, and I don't know if this is necessarily getting older or just like having nieces and nephews, so you like empathize more. But like, I can't see anything sad that involves kids.
Yeah,
now.
no,
Like
that's
it hurts me. Like
yeah.
The other day I was watching football and there was a commercial for like St. Jude's Hospital or
I can't
something
even
like that.
do that, dude.
It was a sick child, and
Yeah.
I was like, just like I got
Here's
emotional
my
watching
money.
the
No, 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 I know.
commercial,
Yes,
dude. I
yes,
got
yes.
emotional just
That's-
watching the commercial. I was
Yeah.
like, what?
Yeah.
Chris
I
has
can't
told me
understand
this before, and because I obviously my wife is pregnant, so we're expecting. And Chris was like, "Dude, the one thing's gonna change. Like, you're not gonna be able to like get through like sad movies anymore."
No, dude. The thing is, it's like a you growing up and you're like this guy, and you're just like you're fucking. You try to be like like maybe not as vulnerable with stuff, right? But as soon as you have a child, you're the most vulnerable than you'll ever be in your life, because now it's another life, another thing that you just really you want to control as much as you can about that life, but there are so many external factors that come into play, and you just feel super vulnerable, and then like all of this like this shield that you fucking built up your entire life is just gone. Because now there's
but
this
it's funny
new
because
life
I don't
that's coming
have
to play.
like, I don't have kids of my own, but I
But,
have
like,
nieces
but
and
you
nephews.
love
but
those kids.
Like
So
watching a commercial like that a few years ago, like it's just just on TV. But like now
you
I'm
can
like
relate to that. You
Maybe
see
I'm just
that.
a shittier person. I have nieces
Yeah.
and nephews, and I don't feel that way.
I know I'm a
Maybe I'm just like a shitty person.
No, but it's just the thing. It's true.
It comes on, you turn up the volume. You just like don't
Hey,
care.
babe.
Sadness.
Hey, check this commercial out. It's fucking hilarious.
These kids are crying on TV.
The worst.
Yeah, dude. It's different, man. But it's for sure. It's like a vulnerability. It's like your kryptonite.
Yeah.
It's automatically your kryptonite from day one, and I don't know if that's ever gonna go away, man. You know what I mean? Like you're your parents' kryptonite.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Something ever happened to you, if you had decent parents, if anything ever happened to you, it would fucking kill them. You know what I mean? So it's
I guess I put myself in those kind of shoes. Obviously, with us expecting and stuff like that, and I kind of like would never fully grasp and understand those kinds of things. Like my mom would always worry so much. My dad would always just be calling me all the damn time.
Where the fuck are you?
Yeah, and so like now I just kind of like you can kind of understand where they're coming from, even though like I have not met my son yet. I can kind of understand where they're coming from.
And this is something that summed it up perfectly when I heard it. Somebody told me once, I don't know where I heard it. They were like, you don't know how to be a son until you're a father, or you don't know how to be a daughter until you're a mother. Like then you start to understand the things that your parents were telling you and what they felt. You know what I mean? Because once you have that kid and you feel that, you're just like, oh my God, like I need to call my parents more. I need to answer every time, or I need to tell them that I love them more. Because like all you want from this kid is you just want them to be okay, and you just want them to love you as much as you love them. And everything else is fucking that's, you know what I mean? It's crazy. And it's gonna happen, you know, like you're gonna feel that. I mean, hopefully everybody gets that experience here. But it's a fucking life changer for sure.
For me, dude, I think the thing that shocks me, not shocks me, that's the wrong word to use, but what I'm kind of most interested in feeling is that initial moment when I see my son for the first time. Like it's so crazy that it's like me and my wife made this other human being, and so to lay eyes on someone that comes from you two, like that just blows my mind.
Crazy.
It's so insane to me, man. Like it's just like, but I'm so excited about it. But that's just for sure. But you know what I mean? Like it's so crazy, man. Like
I think I was kind of robbed of that, because whenever Oliver was born, it was kind of sketchy. Like it was taking longer than expected. It got to like a weird point in time where like she was in labor for too long, and it kind of started getting a little dangerous. So whenever he was born, like it was like relief. Like I didn't even get to like, oh my God, like that's awesome, we made, like it was just like, oh thank God he's okay.
But even
he's
afterward,
fine.
you weren't able to just kind of sit back and.
But
just
it wasn't like instantly. It was afterward, like you know.
But
like,
you still kind of sort of got that.
Yeah,
moment.
but it wasn't like right as it happened.
So how is it? Is it just like, will you see him sometimes? You're like, holy shit, he looks like Sarah.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're like, holy shit, he looks like me.
Yes, exactly. Or like
That's
he
gotta be so
acts-
crazy to me,
Or
man.
he acts like me, dude. Like there's shit, like stupid little shit. Like I hate wearing socks when I go to sleep.
Who wears socks when they go to sleep?
I feel like I get high, and then I see this little dude, man. He's fucking 3 years old, He's half asleep.
And he has to take
He's
them
half asleep and he's taking his socks off, dude. He's chucking them across the fucking room like he doesn't want them anywhere near him. He's throwing those like angry that he has socks on, and I'm like, dude, like that's such a what the fuck,
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
like because just him
Relatable.
like, just him throwing those things, like him being pissed off, like super upset that he has socks on when
Yeah.
he's going to sleep. I'm like, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, dude, that
That's
blows my
crazy.
mind. Just being able to just like see a product of you as a human being,
Yeah.
that is insane to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, man, we went off the rails.
Yeah.
On that one.
Yeah.
I like where
So,
we went, though.
that was
Where
a-
we
that
went.
was
We
a
are
really good
aging
one, man.
millennials.
Yeah, yeah.
That was aging millennials right there.
With
Yeah.
kids.
So we're getting washed, man.
Damn, dude.
What's the next one? The
Yeah,
next one's
so,
controversial.
We're all on a different.
There's a
sides
spectrum.
of the spectrum in terms of our knowledge on this next topic. So we wanted to talk. Let's talk a little briefly about guns.
Firearms.
Yeah. I guess I'll start this one off. It's kind of we had talked about this in the past, and we'd kind of shelved it for a while until we could find like the right time. And I mean, I'm an avid gun owner. I usually carry with me almost every single place I go. I have one in every vehicle that I drive.
I have one in every crevice of my body.
I have one close to me whenever
Prove
I
it.
sleep.
I got 3 on me right now.
I keep one close to me when I sleep. I keep one underneath the bed. I mean, I keep at least,
Yeah.
But I mean, I've been around guns. I kind of sort of grew up around guns. I respect them,
Yeah.
My dad was a gun.
My dad
grandfather was a
taught me
gun.
how to shoot. I mean, I had a little Red Ryder BB gun, and that
His
just
dad was a tank.
progressed.
Yeah.
What?
I grew up the same way. Like, no, I also had, like, BB guns growing up and stuff. And it's weird. Like, my dad, he's like a gun collector, dude. Like, my dad has, like, 250 cal, like long range sniper rifles. And I'm like, when are you ever going to shoot? You don't want to shoot.
You don't know,
it.
bro. You don't
Like,
know.
you're not gonna hit any kind of animal with that because it's gonna fucking explode. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he just has them because he likes collecting them, And like,
But I mean, like, so like you kind of like grew up like around the farm and stuff like that. Did you, like your grandfather, your dad keep a rifle for like coyotes or?
Yeah, I mean, my
You
dad
know.
had a gun in his closet. My grandpa had like a 12 gauge. My uncle has guns. He's a big hunter. But I didn't really grow up around firearms. I didn't grow up around guns too much. I didn't ever hunt as a kid.
I actually never hunted. Still to this
really?
day.
I mean, I've recently got into hunting.
Yeah.
Bow hunting,
my,
right?
my father-in-law's a huge hunter.
Yeah.
No, he's a hunter. Like, so I've only actually hunted. I've only killed one. I've only taken one life. And it was pretty cool. It was really fun. And now I've really gotten into, like, just recently I really got into archery and bows, and I really want to go bow hunting now.
That sounds pretty cool.
But that's something completely
Yeah.
different. That just intriguing. That's more like,
But see,
there's
that's
more
also
of a challenge
but
there.
see, that's also two different sides of like hunting. Like some people like hunt with rifles, some people hunt with bows only. And like I'm not a hunter, but like I do enjoy firearms. Like I've built a couple rifles on my own, like out of like a
Yeah.
bag full of parts that I've
That's
ordered.
pretty cool.
And
That's dope.
I mean, like my AR, like I have a few of
Yeah.
them, and a few of them that I've built on my own, and
Yeah.
one that I've bought,
Hey,
pre-purchased.
for me, man, I understand it. Like if you have a handgun, and I'm not knocking anybody who loves guns. I'm just saying I understand it. Like if you have one for protection, or if you like hunting. But otherwise, like, why do you like firearms so much?
Yeah.
You know what I
It's
mean?
weird. Yeah,
I
it
feel the
is
same
weird.
way. I feel the same way.
Like, what's
I
the
think-
big deal
I think
about
it's
them?
because that you I mean it's also like it's like people who don't understand about cars. Like some people just drive cars, you know.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
I mean people who are enthusiasts about a certain thing, it's the same thing. Like
But I think with
you could
cars,
just-
it's kind of a different argument just because you need a car in most places.
yeah, okay, but you can get a car to get you from A to B, or you can buy an Audi, or
Yes, but at the
you
same
can buy
time,
a
it's like,
truck, or you can buy a Raptor.
in what situation do you ever really truly need a gun? If in most circumstances you don't really, right? But
No,
if
I don't ever believe that.
that's okay. That's you. I've never come into it. Knock on wood, it doesn't happen. I've never needed a gun for anything.
But see, there's always that what if moment, and it's not just you. You're gonna be a father
okay,
now.
but what I'm saying is, like, you need a car every day. You got to get to work. You got to come back. You got to drop your kids off. You got to pick them up. You need a car. So in that sense, people who can become enthusiasts about something like that is because like they want to have the best version of a vehicle that they can because they need one.
Yeah.
And so you just, I want the best car that I can have. But as a gun, you don't really need one. For me.
For
you.
hopefully you never do need one. But
No, no.
that's what you're saying. Like you hopefully never need it. But
No,
if
no,
you
I would,
do need
I would
it,
get
you
one
wanna
just
have
for protection,
Right.
like to protect my
Right.
home or
Okay,
whatever.
let me ask you
Right.
this: if you did say you like, you're not you don't have a handgun or anything like that, but say if you did buy one,
Got these
right?
hands, son.
What are you talking about?
Say if you did buy one, right, and you want to use it for protection,
His hands ain't
are
got
you
these
only
guns,
going
bro. I
to use
don't
it? Are you only going to use it at the house? Or are you only going to keep it at the house? And then, what if you go somewhere with your family? Are you just going to take it with you in the car? But like, what if you go to a big public area? Are you going to carry it with you? That's.
Yeah.
I think for me personally, it'd probably just be like a house thing.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna
Yeah.
carry
But
with me.
but most of the time things like don't happen just at your house. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, most of the
could
time
happen.
things don't happen at all.
Yeah, dude, we've gone almost like you've gone 30 years in your life without needing a gun.
You know what I mean? Like there's that off chance that 1 in 1,000 times that this might happen, but I've gone this far, and usually it doesn't happen. People who, for whatever reason, those terrible situations happen. It's not very likely that's going to occur.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't see the need to carry a gun every day in my life, but I don't think I think other people who feel like they should. Like I think that it's okay.
Yeah,
for them
no,
to
for
carry
sure.
a gun around.
No,
Like, you know what I mean?
I don't knock you like, oh, you carrying a gun, like get away
Right,
from me. Like I don't
right.
understand it, get away. It's just like personally, like, I don't feel the need to have
For
one.
sure. And like guns for me are more of like a way for me to like connect with my dad on stuff, because I
Yeah.
know that he's really into guns, and so like we just kind of got into hunting like a couple of years ago. So like we both got like hunting specific rifles, and then like he actually gave me a Beretta 45 like handgun like 3 years ago for Christmas, or 4 years ago now, and so like that's kind of like my handgun that I have like in my truck in case like if I ever need it, but I don't. It's like buried under my fucking like.
Cause some bitch ever fucking cuts me off.
Yeah, no, I've got it buried under my Backstreet Boys CDs and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just
Everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully nothing ever pops off, because I'm gonna have to toss all this shit out of my glove box to try to find my fucking gun. But it's just like I think it's one of those things, like you said, like if anything ever happens, I want to be, I want to know that I have one maybe near me, but I don't feel the need to carry it everywhere I go.
I understand what you're saying. Like from my perspective, like I have one here in my house, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, it's there if I ever need it, but I don't need it to feel.
Yeah.
I don't need it to feel like
safe?
safe. Like,
But see, here's the problem, dude. Here's the thing that I see. The only time where like I feel like people would use guns in situations where they don't need to introduce one.
But
You
those
know what
are
I
also
mean?
people that are very irresponsible.
Yes.
yeah, but it happens so much that it's like.
But you
well,
just
like,
see at the very same time, right now, as you said, it happens so much. The situation that we were just talking about, does it happen?
But
You said there's a chance that you probably will never need it, but you at the same time you just said that this happens. So
Yeah,
much.
Yeah,
but
when I
that's,
said-
but
when
he's
I
but
said-
he's
but you don't
saying but he
know.
was saying that it's at home though, and that's a different thing.
when
If
I
there's-
said that it happens so much, what I mean is people like
being irresponsible.
being irresponsible
Yeah,
happens so
and
much.
there's but see, like at the same time, there's a lot of people. It's like a few bad people that make a big group look
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure. And
And,
that's
I
with
mean,
everything.
dude,
That's with everything.
Most
Not
of the
just
time,
gun owners. It's
most
everything.
but most of the time, you will never know that I have a weapon on me.
Yeah. And that's good, but like the thing is like sometimes, and you've seen it with even cops, dude, where they're like, "Why are you using your gun, bro?
Yeah.
Like you don't need
Like,
to fucking
okay.
take that person out."
so
like,
so Ray, how many
just-
times have you needed your gun?
Needed?
Have you ever pulled your gun out on somebody?
Once.
What the fuck? Why? They pulled the
Uh,
gun on you?
They came out. They followed me into a parking lot.
Oh my! But just run away, bro.
They followed me into my parking lot.
Oh, what? Like your
Your
my
house?
apartment.
Oh, in your apartment?
My apartment. They followed me.
And so then you pulled your gun out on them?
Yeah, because they came up to my car.
Just talk to
So
them.
no, dude. So if someone's gonna come out of their vehicle and charge your vehicle,
Yeah.
you don't know what they have.
But that's what I'm saying. You could just get your ass kicked.
I'm not gonna get my ass.
But
kicked.
see, that's the problem.
No, but
Just
I'm not
get
gonna.
your ass
I'm not
kicked.
gonna, dude. But I don't know if
Don't
that
kill
person.
the guy.
I didn't say I shot him. I
No,
drew.
I know.
I drew on him, but I don't know what he's coming at me with because
Yeah.
I can't see his hands coming from around the car. So I took my gun out and I came behind my door and I had my gun on him.
That's
I said,
wild.
dude, if I said don't come any closer.
And what did he say? What happened after that?
He got back in his car and he left. But I don't know if he could have had it. He could have had a gun.
yeah, but you also don't know. Maybe he
know.
was coming to ask you like.
No, there's no
Okay.
way.
Yeah. Is this? Am I at the right apartment?
Hey,
complex?
He came to, hey, bro,
what time
I
is
guess.
it?
Well, I guess I should have prefaced that.
what's
this,
your meatloaf recipe?
Yeah.
That shit
I guess
was
I should
great.
have prefaced with this person was cutting me off and trying to hit my car on the way to home.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
You know, some guy
definitely.
came up to me one time in my car. I was like 17. I was with my girlfriend at the time in high school, and this dude came up to me in a car at a red light, and he was just talking shit into me. And I was like, I don't think I ever cut him off or anything. I think he was like confused, like maybe I was in a car similar to somebody that he was looking for. And he was just like fucking just like, and it was kind of scary, bro. I was like 17. This dude was like in his 30s, bald, had tattoos.
But if you had a gun, bro, you could have killed him.
I could have shot that motherfucker.
No, but see, that's also.
But then the light turned green.
Hold on, dude.
I
But
bounced.
that's the wrong fucking mentality to have, dude. Because we joke about it, like, oh, if you had a gun, you could have shot him. Yeah, dude. But it's all fun and games. But like, this is kind of a serious topic to me.
Yeah.
And like, I actually I'm like real passionate about this because like people have like the wrong impression of some gun owners, man.
Yeah.
But if that person came up to you and you saw them,
Yeah.
but you can't see their hands because your rear view is that big, what if they would have shot from behind? JC got shot at, dude. I mean, that's an irresponsible gun owner. But if he had,
Yeah, but if Yacy had a gun and he was still driving in front of that guy, he was not going to do anything.
but what I'm saying.
was he supposed to pull a Fast and the Furious and start shooting at him and kill the guy?
I mean, but I guess that's kind of a wrong, or like the wrong
Well,
instinct.
and not just that, but like the problem is that whenever if there's two people and then there's a fucking shootout, and then like what about the people around them, bro? Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like it gets fucking.
Or even
squirrely,
like,
dude.
because I hear this like when there's like a mass shooting, like, oh, like if a guy had a gun, he could have taken out the shooter or whatever. But like,
You know what?
Hold up,
but
let me
what-
finish. Let
a
me
mass
finish what I was
shooter-
saying. Let me finish what I was saying. So there's a situation where multiple people have guns, and the police get there and they don't know what's going on. So they see a guy with a gun, like they don't know that this is the good guy. You know what I mean? Like, so
He's got a
you're
good guy gun, obviously, bro.
like,
No, man. It's
like that
weird.
argument
point.
just
That's a
holds
good point.
no water for
I
me.
think
like,
no. I think. Yeah, I don't know, man.
I think
Go ahead.
if anybody took like a CHO class, or in Texas it's called like the license to carry class now, like you'd have a little bit more eye opening
Yeah.
and be a little bit more receptive to some of the things that we've talked about. I mean, dude, being a gun owner, it's like it's not like a, oh look, I have a gun.
yeah.
It's a tool.
Dude, I'm a gun owner. I have
I
a
mean,
gun.
but it's a tool. I mean,
yeah.
But you don't carry.
I feel that
Yeah.
it's. I feel that it's not something that I would personally like feel the need, like you were talking about, like feel the need to get it, like
Yeah.
feel the need to carry it with me, because I feel that, for instance, I should probably get life insurance because
Yeah.
that shit's definitely gonna happen.
I'm gonna die
Yeah.
one day.
But it's not necessarily true that I'm gonna get.
Like, what are the
mugged on-
chances
Yeah.
that you're going to need it?
Now, because we live in the society that we do, where I know that people with guns do break into houses,
Yeah.
I feel that, and I've talked to Sarah about this. We had a discussion because I was surprised because she actually brought up to me. She was like, we should probably get a gun for the house, because we moved into a nicer neighborhood, and we would see in the news that some nicer neighborhood got broken into, and it was not that far away from where we were, and the guy, somebody broke into his house. The guy woke up and he was just like trying to, saw the intruders and were like, leave, but these people that broke in had a gun. And they shot the dude and they killed him. They were going in to steal something, but they got startled. An accident happened and he got shot.
well, if you go into a situation like that with a gun, you kind of know. I mean, one, you're already committing a crime by robbery.
Yeah.
I mean, two, you go in there with the intentions to use it. If you have it, you're going to use it.
I personally don't like guns. I mean, I think they're fun to shoot. I've shot several. If I could go to a range and just like rent a gun and shoot it at the range, I'd be perfectly fine with that. I would actually be so down to go do that. But but I don't actually like the idea of a firearm. You know what I mean? Like it's so final. It's so final.
That's the thing. Like,
But
if you knew that, if we went to a bar after this and you knew everybody in there had a fucking gun,
Can't
would
carry
you-
a gun
would-
at a
would-
bar
No,
legally.
I know. It's hypothetical. If you were in a bar and you knew everybody, there's 200 people in there and everybody was fucking strapped, would you be comfortable in there?
Go to a
I'll
party.
get-
I would
Let's
not.
get
scrap
that
the bar thing. We go to a party.
Yeah.
Everyone there has a fucking gun.
I would not be comfortable in there because I was like, if these two dumb motherfuckers that I don't know who the fuck they are, and if they end up getting in a fight and then they fucking end up drawing, and then we're all in here, and then like what happens?
Yeah, dude, you're in the middle of
We're
that
all in the middle
crossfire.
of a
and-
fucking crossfire. Like that's what scares me. Like there's no reason why there are more guns in this country than there are people in this country. That's fucking crazy. Do we need that? Do we need that many fucking guns?
But
Like, you
on
know?
that same note, if you want to own a gun, I feel that you have the right to
For
own
sure.
a
For
gun.
sure,
You have the right to have it.
But you should go to class
I
and
don't
be
understand.
responsible and
Yeah,
all the
exactly.
shit that you're
I feel
doing
like
right,
you should
for
get
sure.
your head checked first of all.
Yeah.
And like and I heard this not too long ago, and I thought yeah, that's so true.
That makes sense.
Like we have pilots go through such hardcore testing and
yeah.
training
Yeah.
to be a fucking commercial pilot. You should have, not that stringent. I'm saying not like you're gonna fly a commercial airplane, but definitely something that's more along those lines instead of just
Yeah, dude. I think that's key, man. I think I saw a guy. I don't think I saw a guy pull a gun on a guy one time in college, man. After we left a bar once,
Fuck.
and it was just like this dude. The only reason he pulled a gun on this other dude is maybe because he was jealous or something was going on. There was
he had it on
then
him.
he had it on him, so he
That's the thing.
he pistol whipped this dude and he pulled it out. And the other guy was like a much bigger, larger stature. Probably would, like if they would have fought, you probably would have betted on this other guy, right?
But it's a great equalizer, dude.
For sure.
see, that's-
And so
Yeah, it's true, but I mean,
But-
it
but-
shouldn't be used in that.
But
That's not what it's for.
not
okay,
everybody's you.
but not everybody is you,
You know what I
and there
mean?
are a
You're
lot of
fucking
people who
responsible.
are these other fucking douches who do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that's
And one thing leads to another,
Yeah.
and deaths happen. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
That's what he brought up. I understand that. I 100% understand that. But I mean, dude, it's there's bad people in every situation, man. And like, I would love to talk myself out of a situation before I would have to use like
Yeah.
my firearm to take another life, dude. That's a big thing. But if it comes and like, God forbid it ever does,
yeah.
like I have my tool to protect my
ready.
life.
I'm fucking ready.
Don't get me wrong. If we get into a scenario where both me and Ray are in a life-threatening scenario, if Ray's strapping, he's
yeah.
100% gonna live.
Yeah, if shit
I will
if shit goes
100%
down
die.
tonight, we're all looking towards you, bro. We're like, hey, Ray, you're up.
But dude, like I'm a good bullshitter. I'm pretty sure I could talk ourselves out of a situation
Let's
where
hope, dude. Hey, man, we're fucking
yeah,
we're more than an hour
we
deep,
ran
dude.
some we ran the gamut on a few things.
yeah, man. I think
That's good.
this was a different episode for us, I think,
Yeah.
but it was good. I mean, it was good to kind of get everyone's perspectives on different kinds of things like that, things that kind of get you thinking a little
Yeah.
bit and kind of.
A little
all
more
of us
serious,
were for sure a little bit more
Not
serious.
jacking off or taking shits in public.
I think there were spectrums for all these topics, and I think we all fall in different places
For
within
sure.
that spectrum, or within
Yeah.
those respective spectrums. But yeah, man, great talking to you
Dude,
guys
that's it.
again. This was episode number 12 of the Well-Mannered Cartel. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you guys so much for watching. You can catch us on Instagram. You can catch us on YouTube. Let us know if you guys have any recommendations on what we should cover next. And keep chasing your Westfoot dreams.
Send your dick pics to Marlon.
Mándalo.